Hi, everyone. My name is Taslim, and I'll be leading you through the yoga class today. Thank you so much, Lena, for doing a great job with the Zumba. So 2 things to note before we start. 2 rules of play. Number 1 is take care of yourself. I know sometimes the movements aren't entirely accessible to everyone, and we have quite a wide range of people in the audience, the virtual audience today. And number 2 is have fun. This is the first time I'll be teaching through this medium, so we'll just go with the flow and see how it goes. I'll be providing some modifications as we go through for those of you who may not find some of the poses accessible. So we'll see what we can do for you there. To start off today, we're going to be starting seated on a mat. So if you have a towel or a yoga mat, what you'll be doing is starting in a nice tall seat. So lengthening up through the crown of your head, bringing your shoulders back and down so that they're in a relaxed position. And just sit here, and I'll show a possible modification with a chair. So if you have a chair, you can still take a seat. Here, I want you to make sure that your feet are planted on the ground. And again, your shoulders are back and down. And you'll be able to go through the entire sequence of the warm-up in this position. For the rest of us, as you sit here, we'll start with some breath work. So as you inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. Nice big sweeping circle. As you exhale, bring your palms to touch and bring them through heart center. One more time, inhale, expanding the arms up and over your head. Exhale, hands through heart center. One more big inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, bringing your hands through the center line of your body. From here, bringing your hands to either side of your knees. And then we'll be taking some big shoulder rolls. So just bring your shoulders up to your ears, back and down. One more, shoulders up to your ears, back and down. One more, shoulders up to your ears, back and down. From here, taking a very gentle neck roll. So moving your head in one direction, nice and slow. Again, remembering your breath. Your breath is the most important part of the practice today. Prana, as we call it, or the energy life-giving force. Take one more circle in this direction, and then we'll meet back in the center. From the center, we're going to take it to the other side. So we're always seeking balance in our practice. So taking that gentle roll. Take one more neck roll here, and then we'll meet back in neutral. Again, reaching up through the crown of your head, keeping that posture nice and tall. From here, we're moving into our Sufi grind. So for that, moving your body over your legs, coming forward as you exhale, inhaling, contracting through the core as you take the back side of that circle. Let's take another big circle, almost like you're drawing a circle with your upper body. And keep going with that. Take one more big circle, and then we'll take it round the other direction. Again, seeking that balance. So moving, exhaling as you come forward. Inhaling, contracting through the core. And again, exhaling as you come forward. Take one more big circle, really feeling that release in the low back, the contraction through the abdominals. And then we'll meet back here in center. From here, we're going to be moving on to hands and knees. I'll provide a modification for anyone that is on a chair in a moment. So for now, bringing your legs out from under you, I'll be facing this direction so that you can see what I'm doing. So here for tabletop position, you want your shoulders to be under, your shoulders over your wrists and your knees under your hips. Your back should be nice and straight, almost as if you could balance something on it. Once you find this position, we'll simply be tucking the belly in and reaching up through the back, almost like an angry cat. And then releasing, softening the belly, reaching forward and up with the chest and back and up with the hips. Keep doing this movement and using your breath. So tucking the belly in and softening as you take your cow. For anyone that might be on a chair, you can take this seated. So what you'll do in your seat, you'll contract the belly and arch your back as you sit, and then relax and bring your shoulders forward and up. And again, contracting through the belly and then bringing the shoulders forward and up. Let's do 2 more of these cat-cows. Remembering that breath. And then from here, we're going to be preparing for our first down dog of the day. So here I want you to make sure that your palms are well connected to the mat. Tuck your toes under and then lift your hips up to the sky to come into that down dog position. This down dog can be active, so you can walk your legs out, you can flow forward on your toes, flow back, bring your weight forward slightly and rock back. For anyone who is doing the modification, you can do this with a chair. So for that, what you want to do is step about 2 feet away from the chair and then fold over, placing your hands on the stool or the chair. Step your feet back slightly if you need to, and then press forward into your palms. Here you should feel a nice hamstring stretch. And then you can hold there, and as the rest of us come up, you can also rise. For those of you who are in the down dog full expression, from here, taking a deep bend in the knees, bring your toes up, look forward, and step 1 foot forward and then the other to the front of your mat. Inhale, bending at the knees and lifting your body up, expanding the arms over and above your head. Exhale, bring your hands through heart center to come and rest at your side. From here, we're going to be moving into our sun salutation. We'll start with the half modified version. So you can do this from a chair, and then we'll be stringing it together into the full vinyasa flow. So just follow along. So inhale, expanding your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips, folding forward over your legs. As you inhale, take a halfway lift. So let your back be nice and straight and look forward. As you exhale, fold back over your legs. On your inhale, allow a little bend in your knees and lift your body up, expanding the arms up and overhead. Exhale, palms to touch to come through heart center. So we'll keep going with that. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, forward fold. So you can do this in your chair, folding over your legs. Inhale, take that halfway lift. So looking straight. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, getting ready to rise, sweeping the arms up and overhead. Exhale, palms to touch to come through heart center. We'll keep going. For those of you on the chair, you'll continue with this movement. The rest of us will be taking it down to the mat, so just follow along. So inhale, sweeping your arms up and overhead. Exhale, taking that forward fold. Inhale, take that halfway lift. And exhale to fold. Take an inhale here, and on your next exhale, step your right foot back and then step your left foot back, coming into a plank position. In your plank position, you can puff up through your shoulders, contract your core. So this is a great ab exercise. And here, if your hips are hiking up, bring them down. And if they're too low, that's going to create a lot of pressure in your low back. So try and lift. We're going to breathe here. You also have the option of coming onto your forearms if this is too much, or bringing your knees down. So do what works for you. We'll be here for 1 more breath. From here, tucking your elbows close to your body, start to lower down to the mat, chaturanga. Here, untucking your toes, you'll find yourself laying on the mat. On your next inhale, keeping the pelvis and the legs connected to the mat, start to peel your chest up and off the mat into a cobra pose. And exhale, back down. We'll do 2 more of these. So inhale, peeling your chest up and off the mat. Exhale, back down. Last one. Inhale, peeling your chest up and off the mat. Exhale, back down. From here, tucking your toes under, keeping your palms really close to your sides. Push up through your arms, coming up through hands and knees, and lift your hips up to the sky, piking up into your down dog. For those of you who are doing the modified version of the sun salutation, you can now take the modified down dog position with your chair, where you simply step back, Plant your palms and then fold over the chair or the stool. From your down dog position, getting prepped up to rise. So here, allowing a deep bend in your knees, come up onto your tiptoes, step one foot forward and then the other. Prepare to rise. Inhale, expanding your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. All right, I hope everyone is doing okay. We're going to continue with the flow. Anyone doing the modified version, just keep on with that. If you need other options, you can just simply do some big inhales using your arms and exhalation. So that is always a good place to go if at any point you need a break. So continuing with the flow, inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, take your forward fold. From here, take an inhale, and on your exhale, send your right leg back. From here, allow the right knee to drop to the mat. Once you find that balance, we're going to inhale to rise, so lifting your arms up and overhead. On your next exhale, sweeping your arms back behind you like a pair of wings. Inhale to rise, reaching up to the sky. Exhale, take a forward fold over that leg. Last one, inhale to rise, arms up to the sky. And exhale, folding over. Inhale to rise, bringing your hands to heart center in a prayer position. From here, we're going to be taking a twist. So what I want you to do, keeping the hands at your side, turning your body over towards the left. This twist should come from the core, not your head, not your shoulders, but from the core. If you are in your seat, you can simply take this twist while seated and just hang out here. If you want to take this one step further, you can place your right elbow on the left knee. If you want to modify even more, then what you can do, you want to build a little bit of fire, you can lift that back knee up and off the mat. We'll be here for 2 more breaths. So whatever version you're in, just stick with it. On your next inhale, rising back up, turning back to your center. From here, placing your palms at either side of your foot, lifting your back right knee, and sending that left leg back, coming into a down dog position. We'll take 2 breaths here. In this position, you can hang out in a down dog. If you want to take it one step further, you can lift your right leg up and off the mat, coming into a 3-legged dog. We'll be here for 2 breaths. Completely optional and up to you. From here, bringing that right leg back down to the mat, allowing a little bend in your knees, coming up onto your tiptoes. You can step, float, or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands through heart center. We're going to take this to the other side. So inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, take your forward fold. Take an inhale, and on your next exhale, now sending your left leg back. Here, allowing the left knee to drop back down to the mat. Find that stability in your legs. Once you feel stable, inhale to rise, lifting the arms up and overhead. As you exhale, sweeping the arms back behind you, feeling that power in your arms. Inhale to rise. Exhale, sweeping the arms back behind you. Inhale to rise. On your seat, you can still do these arm motions. So exhale, sweep back. Inhale to rise. From here, on your next exhalation, bring your palms to heart center in a prayer position. And we're going to take the twist on the other side. Again, if you're seated, you can take the twist. So start to turn your body over towards the right side now. From here, you can hold this position and breathe. Alternatively, you can place that left elbow now on your right knee. You can hang here, or alternatively, if you want to take it one step further, you can lift that back leg. just build a little bit more fire. Everything is optional. Just take what works for you. One more breath in this position. On your next inhale, rising back up, turning back to center. From here, planting your palms at either side of your right foot, lifting your left knee back up, sending your right leg back. And again, you'll find yourself in that down dog position. Here again, we'll be doing a three-legged dog. This is completely optional. If you like, you can now lift your left leg up to the sky. 2 breaths here. So just breathing through. You're making sure your hips are facing down, not opening out. And on your next exhale, bringing that leg back down to the mat. You're allowing a deep bend in the knees, coming up onto the tiptoes, step 1 foot forward and then the other in a forward fold. And inhale to rise, lifting the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center to come and rest at your side. All right, I hope everyone is doing okay. We're going to keep going. So let's inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, take that forward fold. Inhale, and on your next exhale, step your right leg back. Now pivot that right foot so that it is parallel to the short edge of your mat. Once you find the positioning of your leg, make sure that your left knee is bent. From here, windmilling your arms up, coming into your warrior 2. Here you want to make sure that your knee is tracking forward. If it's falling in or out, bring it to the center line. That is to protect your knee joints. You should also be able to see your toes over your knee. And then push into that back edge of your right foot. Once you feel you've got all those things going, then extending your arms nice and long, feeling the strength and the power through them. If you are standing, you can also come into the warrior 2 position and just breathe here. 2 more breaths in this position. Filling up through the lungs and letting it go. On your next inhale, coming into exalted warrior. So for that, bringing your right hand back down to your back leg, rising up, lifting that left arm up to the sky and opening up through the side of your body, opening up through the chest, through the underarm as well, making sure your legs maintain the distance and keep that bend in that left knee. And exhale, back to the center line, warrior 2. From here, we're simply going to turn that left foot so that you are now straddling the long edge of your mat. From here, we're going to take a gentle forward fold. So just simply fold over your legs. And if you can, wherever your hands land, that's totally fine. If they touch the mat, that's great. If they don't, doesn't matter. And here we're going to find that length in your hamstrings. So just breathe here. One more breath. On your next inhale, turn your right foot so that it is facing forward now. So you know what's coming. Make sure your back foot is still parallel to the short edge of your mat. And then inhale to rise back up. Here, your knee, again, should be tracking straight forward. And your back leg, you should be pushing into the back side of your left foot. Once you feel stable, extending your arms nice and long, coming into that warrior 2 position. Again, just checking that you can see your toes over your knee, just to protect that joint. And then extending, really reaping the benefits of this pose, turning your gaze forward. On your next inhale, preparing for that exalted warrior. So bringing that left leg onto your back and then rising up, lifting your right arm up to the sky, opening up through that right side of your body and facing that front knee forward, keeping it bent. One more breath. On your next exhale, winging the arms back forward, coming into a full expression of warrior 2. From here, now turning that right foot. So again, you will be straddling the long edge of your mat. And then coming simply into a forward fold. So folding over your legs, allowing that release in your low back and in your hamstrings. Just take 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, allowing a little bend in your knees. Inhale to rise back up. From here, simply heel toe your feet in towards each other. Once you feel stable, then you can move to the front edge of your mat. We'll be going into a full vinyasa flow here. So again, modified version will be on the chair. The rest will inhale to lift their arms up and overhead, and exhale to take that forward fold. Inhale to take your halfway lift, so back nice and straight. Exhale to fold over your legs. From here, bending at the knees, planting the palms and stepping one foot back and then the other. This is going to be our last plank hold for the day. So really go for it, really use your breath. Again, modification, you can bring your knees down or bring your forearms down, whatever works for you. One more breath in. From here, tucking your elbows close towards your side, looking forward and lowering down to the mat. From here, untucking your toes and inhaling to rise into a cobra. Exhale to go back down to the mat. Take an inhale, and on your next exhale, lift up and then simply sit back into a child's pose. So sending your hips back to sit on your heels. Keep your forehead pressed to the mat. Keep your arms extended nice and long to feel that release. For anyone that is still on your chair, you can choose to stay on the chair, or you can also move towards the mat where we'll be meeting laying down. So whatever works for you. For those of us in child's pose, take 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, rising up. From this position, tucking your toes, so tuck your toes under, and we're going to sit on our feet. So keeping your toes tucked, we're going to take 3 big breaths. So inhale, expanding your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms up and overhead, really reaching up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Last one, inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. From here, bringing your weight forward and simply swinging your legs under you and bringing them out in front of you. So legs will be nice and long and extended, and we're going into a forward fold again, but this time with the feet on the mat. So for this, take an inhale, and on your next exhale, start to fold over your legs. It doesn't matter how far you go, the hamstrings will still get the stretch, so do what you can. The goal isn't to bring your nose to your knees, it's just to stretch out the hamstrings as best as you can. You're thinking about bringing the belly to the thighs instead of your head down to the mat. And just breathe here. One more breath. Inhale and rise back up. From here, bringing the soles of your feet together, coming into a butterfly pose. So for that, 2 feet in towards each other. If you are on your mat, on your back already, you can just take some breaths there. Here, just allowing a stretch in your inner thigh, and again, breathing through this. It doesn't matter if your feet and your knees touch the mat. Just feel the stretch. 2 more breaths in this position. And from here, moving your hands out of the way and closing the book that your legs formed. From here, you're going to be sitting on your mat and we'll be preparing to lower. So you may need to shift your hips forward if you are off your mat. From here, extending your arms straight out in front of you. We're going to do a last little ab workout as we lower to the mat. So I want you to take it down really, really slowly, as slow as you can. No one is racing anyone. This is you against you. The biggest challenge is right at the bottom where your abs want to let go. So let's try not to do that. Once we all meet back on the mat, taking a breath. On your next inhale, lifting your right leg up to the sky. From here, bending at the knee and folding that right leg over the left. You can stay here, or if you want, you can go into a full thread the needle, so picking your left leg up and off the mat, threading your arms through the little keyhole and grabbing onto your shins or the back of your thigh. Whatever feels good for you. I'm just breathing here. One more breath. From here, now bringing that leg back down to the mat, uncrossing your right leg from the left. Now extending the left leg up to the sky, folding it over and bringing that left leg onto the right. Lifting, if you choose, the right leg up and off the mat, threading the arm through the leg and holding on to that shin or back thigh, whatever feels good for you. And breathe. 2 more breaths. And then bringing that right leg back down to the mat, uncrossing the left from the right. Now extending your left leg nice and long. Bring your right knee in towards your chest and grab onto that shin or the back of the thigh. Just taking a nice stretch. 2 breaths here. From here, extending the right leg back down to the mat, bringing the left knee in towards your chest. 2 more breaths here. Now extending the left leg nice and long. From here, we're going to come into waterfall pose. So for that, simply lift your legs up and off the mat and lift your arms up. This is option 1. This is amazing for anyone that has a lot of fluid buildup in their legs. This allows everything to drain out of there. If you have a lot of swelling, if you fly a lot, then this is really great. Option 2 is to take a full shoulder stand and only do this if this is in your practice. So lifting your hips up and off the mat, coming into a full shoulder stand. We'll just be here for 3 breaths. Getting ready to lower. If you're in the waterfall pose, bringing your legs back down to the mat. From here, extending yourself onto your mat into a starfish-like position. And just closing your eyes. Allow everything to relax from your toes, your ankles, your shins, knees, thighs, hips, belly, stomach, and neck. And just breathe. From here, slowly starting to wiggle your fingers. Start to wiggle your toes. Take your arms over your head, stretching. And in your own time, rolling over to one side. When you're ready, rising back up into a seat. If you need to sit on a chair, that is completely okay as well. So coming back to where we started, extending through the crown of your head. Let's close with 3 breaths here using our arms. So let's inhale, arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms out and up, sweeping them wide. Exhale, hands through heart center. Last one. Inhale, arms up and over. Exhale, bringing the palms together, keeping your hands in prayer pose. Take a moment to thank yourself. Namaste to everyone. Thank you so much for making it today. We're now going to be closing for today. So everyone who does know, there is a helpline here that you can call at any time. This is a difficult time for everyone, and we're all in it together. So feel free to reach out to anyone here. Today was a big expression of the community that we have across the country and across the world. So wishing you all a great evening and hope to see you all again soon.